So you're saying you would do Brown, Smart, and then Sacramento and Memphis
Yeah.
and Boston and Time Lord.
Yeah.
But keep Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tatum's untouchable to me. I mean, I got Lance G, as you remember,
I do.
Probably one of our first listeners ever.
Absolutely.
All the way out on the West Coast.
Love you, Lance.
He sent me a message on Twitter and was, DM, and he was like, hey, it's like, what would you give up? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, for me, Tatum's untouchable. He's the guy that's here after this crew with AD.
Yeah.
When this group ages out, those are your two pieces. That's your draw. You've got to have guys that are going to be here in a second level of this that are going to be able to draw in other players and recruit them.
Well, and here's the other piece of that, and going along with what you're saying too. If you don't have that re-sign, right? If you don't have that extension, because there's a chance you don't get that coming off this deal, you need to have Tatum in here. You cannot do a deal for Tatum and not have a 5-year extension or something.
That's right.
It is a 1-to-1. So if you get the extension, okay, I'm listening, because Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and probably one out of Horford or Hayward or what have you, that could win an NBA championship in 2020. Bottom line, right? But if you are only going to get 1 year of Anthony Davis, and hopefully you can, you go through this dance like Toronto's doing with Kawhi right now, or with Paul George did last year in OKC. There's no way you can give up Tatum in that regard. You need to have either some certainty.
I don't know that you can give him up either way. You got to find a different way. And here's why. You got to find a different way. And we just talked about how you can find a different way, because it's who you're bidding against. That's all it is. It's who you're bidding against, who has the assets. There's no reason to give up a Tatum to make this deal happen, because the Pelicans are the ones that lose at the end of next year, or they lose at the next trade deadline if they don't get something done. And we've seen people be stubborn and not trade with Danny before,
right?
Butler, and get crap in return, right? So Paul George, like, it has happened. It could happen again, and it could just be unfortunate for the Celtics. But this one, like you said, the pundits, everybody else talking, it's such a no-brainer for the Pelicans. What's happening right now is they're trying to drive the price up on the Celtics. They're trying to set the bar so when they get to this summer, they can say, this is what we could have gotten, we can still get it. But they need to strike now while they can get those other teams to look at the urgency and hopefully tip their hand before the Celtics are even in play. Well, they have to create that urgency so that the Lakers are saying, we'll give you everything. But even if the Lakers give them everything, we can still do this deal, give them more, and not give up Tatum.